welcome out to the ballpark. Game 2 of our AHSAA 7A Area 4 game. It's definitely a big one. So Auburn won against Smith Station. Full 7-inning game, but Auburn was up by multiple runs throughout the majority of the game. Then now they get to play Central. So what happened, Auburn and Central tied in the regular season. Central wins the coin flip. They either got to pick between an agreement between Auburn and Central. You either got to pick home field, host the entire tournament, or the 1 seed. Central chooses 1 seed. That's why we're here broadcasting this game in Auburn. So it's our double elimination tournament. We'll go ahead and look at the bracket right now. So if you see, obviously Smith Station already in that losers game. That'll be our first game at 4:30 tomorrow. That'll be here on NFHS Network. So Auburn and Central play. Loser will go to Game 3. Winner will go to Game 4. Obviously, the winner of Game 3 will play the winner of Auburn or Central. And obviously, the team that already has one loss will have to beat the team that doesn't have a loss yet twice to advance. So it's double elimination, and it's going to be all kinds of fun. But for today, we're going to see if Auburn can beat Central. Like I said, both teams won the home time when they played each other. So we'll see if Auburn can keep that going with the big win here. Of course, Hannah Pitts will be pitching for the Tigers. And Ellie Davis had a great start in this earlier game. So we're going to keep it all going. And it's time to go ahead and get ready for our first pitch and the national anthem here on AHS Mass Media.
Your Auburn Tigers.
Jaden Jordan still 0 for 0 tonight. She's walked twice. She's over at first. Mykyra Thurman had a single back last inning. Also came around to score. She's a part of the stretch of hitters from 2 through 5 that all scored runs for Auburn. Represent all 4 runs on the scoreboard, actually. So Mykyra Thurman will take one at her feet. 1-0. More walks than hits at the moment for Supan. As an off-speed pitch drops out of the zone, 2-0. Runner on first for Mykyra Thurman to cash in on. Fastball finds the zone. Elevates the pitch that she's been trying to hit the zone with, and Supan's right back in the count with a 2-1. Thurman will watch one go by for another called strike, and I'm not sure if she was happy with that decision by our home plate umpire. Counts even at 2-2. Thurman gonna have to battle. Watches one go high and outside. Possibly caught it. A run down. Nope, the ball's thrown out into the outfield. Jordan back safely over at first. Throws up over on the base path. Throw down to first. Ended up in right field.
Yeah, and if you're the Red Devils, an overthrow like that, especially with Jaden on base, is just asking for her to take second from you.
Thurman's got the count full here. She's 1 for 1 today, once again with a single. Supan in danger of 5 walks here. Instead, it's a ground ball through the gap between short and third. Thurman with her second single in as many at-bats. Runners at first and second.
Thurman sat, she waited, she found her pitch. Nice little single through the gap there between short and third.
Anna Pitts, the pitcher, with a chance to help herself out here. She walked back in the first, and she came around to score. This inning mirroring the order in which runners reached base in the first. Of course, you're missing Lane Johnson's at bat at this inning, but Pitts will show bunt, fouls it away off of the catcher's foot. But the order in which my scorebook looks right now, Lane Johnson grounded out to second twice in a row. Jaden Jordan walked both times, and Mykyra Thurman singled both times. So now let's see what Pitts does here. It's for the second inning in a row. Pitts will be up to bat with runners at first and second. Pitts will put one, a line drive out into right field. They'll wave around coming from second to home. And scoring the run for the Tigers, Jaden Jordan is brought around by Hannah Pitts on the RBI single.
Just a nice little pop-up over the second baseman's head. Not much they could do about that. But Jaden Jordan's speed just got her home on her feet. Not much the Red Devils can do about that. Minimize their losses, though. Kept runners to first and second. And they're going to sub in 13, first base.
That'll be Plan over at first. Pinch run for Pitts. Second inning in a row we've seen that. 5-0 your score after Auburn will scratch across another. 5 runs on 5 hits. 4 walks against Supan's credit today. At the play now, it's Shelby Owsley, who reached on an error but did get an RBI out of it. This one dropped out into left field, a blooper out to left. We'll see a base hit and bases loaded. A single for Shelby Owsley. Moves everyone from station to station, and the bases are juiced. 3 straight singles in a row. 6th hit allowed for Supan. They're letting her go. It's early in the ball game. I'm interested to know at the moment what Central's strategy is. Considering this game could get away from them early. Game 1 of the area tournament as Alicia Conway's up to the plate. She flew out to second back in the first. 0-1 count to Conway. No outs in the inning and bases loaded. Conway will watch one inside. And Lowe blocking it up behind home plate is Hunt for Central. Count evens up at 1-1. Bases loaded, 1-1 count. Conway bounces one to second, throw over to first, no play anywhere else. And Conway, although she's put out at the plate, she'll head back to the dugout with an RBI now on the score sheet. And she'll advance the runners to second and third. Auburn up 6-0 after the ground out to second. Put the ball in play and good things will happen. Kyra Thurman came across to score on the play. And now it'll be Pitts over at third, or Plan over at third. Pinch running for Pitts and Owsley at second. Ground ball to short. This one put on the ground by Thornell. She'll throw over to home. No force at home. And that will put on base Thornell after the throw home was designed to catch Plan, who was going to be going home, but I think that was just designed to get a throw home and then get a base runner on. So now with one out, you got bases loaded. And that'll be a single for Thornell.
Looks like the Red Devils forgot that they lost their force out when they got earlier out on the first base.
Ground ball over to short. This one's going to have to come home and thrown out at home. I think they got her on the tag. Plan is gunned out at the plate, and there's 2 outs in the inning after the ground ball from Davis to short. And that is not a put out that you see often in your score sheet. That is
for a lot of this predicament.
Fielder's choice for Davis, who's over at first now. Bases are still loaded as we're at the bottom of the order with Olivia Ney. Ney rolls one over to first, and it goes foul. Owsley at third, Thornell at second, and Davis at first. Ney in the first inning had an RBI single that kept the inning going with 2 outs. Similar situation for her, trying to get it back to the top of the order. 6-0, Auburn in front of Central on the top of the second inning. Supan, this one, dribble to third, throw over to first. Ney is thrown out at first to retire the side, but not before the damage is done. A total of 4 hits in the inning. The bases are left loaded, but not before 2 runners come across to score on those 4 hits. 1 walk in the inning as well for Central Supan. So after 2 trips to the plate, Auburn leading 6-0, bottom of the second inning coming up here. Supan, the pitcher, at the plate for the first time tonight. Check swing, and she brought that bat around the plate. Strike one. Noah Gardner and Will Worth with you in the broadcast booth for tonight's area tournament matchup between Auburn and Central. Auburn leading 6-0 on the bottom of the second. Pitts will have a breaking ball that tails away off the plate. Count evens at 1-1. Supan on the year as a hitter in that fourth spot. 259 at the plate. 15 RBI for Supan. Goes back inside after being on the outside. Now it's 1-2. Hitting her spots right now is Pitts. She'll go high and inside. Misses the zone. 2-2 is the count to Supan. Fastball just below the zone, just below the knees. Personally, with a 2-2 count, I don't know how you lay off of it. That's a strikeout pitch if I've seen one before. 3-2 count, and they walk it. Supan will take first base on the base on balls. And that's first base run of the ball game. It gets handed Pitts.
Pitts looking electric all first inning. I highly doubt this walk will affect her in any way, but we'll see how her pitching holds up for the rest of the second.
She doesn't walk hitters often, I'll tell you that. The Mercer commit generating a lot of interest from schools all over. Talented pitcher in the circle for Auburn. She's playing with a 6-0 lead. Much easier to pitch ahead 6-0 than it is down 6-0. And she's got a base runner over at first at Supan. Lane Thaxton at the plate. Strike one against her, the designated player. In the 5 spot of the order, Madison Hurt on deck. Supan is being pinch ran for over at first. Can't catch the number from our vantage point. I see a 2 on the jersey, but fastball across the plate, 0-2. Headed the count on Thaxton. 22 is the pinch runner, Wilson, for Central Phoenix City. The 0-2 just barely tipped. Swings underneath of an off-speed pitch. Fouling away to the netting. It's Haley Wilson, the freshman, over at first. Double play depth in the infield. Inside and ring her out. There's the third strikeout of the ball game for Hannah Pitts. Catching Lane Thaxton looking.
And Pitts is just dangerous inside, outside of the zone, just right where the batters don't want it. She is throwing it right there with heat, and she is ready for them.
Number 2, Madison Hurt.
Auburn up 6-0 with Madison Hurt at the plate. Missing the zone on the first pitch of the at-bat. It's 1-0. Hurt, the second baseman for Central. Her statistics on the season, batting .360, 35 games played for the Red Devils. Has seen the plate 106 times. She'll show bunt and pounds one into the earth. Rolls away, foul. Count evens up at 1-1. Hurt has 27 RBI. She's hit 1 home run of the year, 5 doubles, 3 triples. She has that 27 RBI on 32 hits. Pitts and Thurman will have a conversation. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bunt, this one is basically grounded to first, and just an unfortunate location for Auburn to have to be able to field it. That ball wasn't bunted. That ball was punched, literally, over to first base, and it was put just off the bag enough, and hustling down the base paths was Hurt to be able to outrun it. It was hit just slow enough, died on the ground. I mean, just perfectly hit for Hurt to be able to get an infield single. First and second now with 1 out. Not much you can do there if you're Davis. You charge it, it takes you out of the play to be able to go back to first and step on the bag. Charge it, you may very well. She could just run right by it. Never know. Never know. That's just difficult play there for Davis over at first.
Mm-hmm. Definitely did the right thing attacking it. Held runners to second base as well.
1 out in the inning. Cameron Hammock, the second baseman at the plate, sees one at the letters. 1-0. His first hit of the ball game against Pitts. Breaks up the no-hitter. Pitts inside portion of the plate. Count evens at 1-1. Central threatening here on the base paths. Runners at first and second. Supan pinch ran for right now by Haley Wilson. Big swing and a miss and out of the glove of Conway. 1-2. I actually believe they called that foul at the plate. My mistake. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 runners on. Pitts, and there's the strikeout on a swing and a miss. On a fastball high and inside, it will send Hammock back to the dugout.
Emotions are high. You can tell Pitts is just not disturbed by these 2 base runners. She is ready to go. She is more than ready for 6 more innings, it looks like.
Haley Jernigan, the right fielder, after the strikeout, will stand in. Rise ball above the collarbone. It's 1-0. Auburn ahead 6-0 in the bottom of the second inning against Central. Curveball outside corner of the plate. Count evens at 1-1. Haley Jernigan puts one on the ground. This one rolling over to second. Owsley will field it and toss it safely over to first for the final out of the second inning. 2 runners will reach base. One of those a hit. Nobody will come across to score. 2 strikeouts for a hit of Pitts in the inning. And after 2, Auburn 6, Central 0. Broadcast booth for tonight's ball game between Auburn and Central. Auburn up 6-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. At the top of the order, back up to the plate yet again. Third go-round of the order in 3 innings now. Lane Johnson to lead it off for the Tigers. Against a new pitcher in the center circle for Central. It will be Caroline Miles for the Red Devils, who starts off with a called strike. The end line for Supan, she goes 2 innings, gives up 7 hits, She allows 6 runs on those 7 hits and walked 4 batters. As Johnson will show bunt, pull back, tailing away, and the count evens up at 1-1. Johnson today 0 for 2. She is grounded out to second both times. One of 2 batters to not reach base yet for Auburn, as losing the grip on one is Miles. Not able to haul it in. Behind home plate is Hunt. Supan has now moved over to third, and I believe Hurt has moved over to second, which would mean that Hammock is out of the ball game. Supan over at second, or excuse me, over at third, as Link Johnson will take a called strike at 2-2. So look back at the defensive alignment. Supan and Griggs on the left side of the diamond. On the right side of the diamond, it's Hurt and Allen. Hunt still behind home plate, and then Miles in the center circle, and Miles will get the strikeout on Lang Johnson. 0 for 3 today at the top of the order.
I think a much-needed pitching change for Central brings some new blood into the circle. Definitely going to be some challenge for Auburn batters. I haven't seen what they're working with here, but with a 6-0 lead, it's a comfortable position to be in.
Miles' statistics on the year: 5.44 ERA, 1-0 this season in 6 appearances. Has not seen the circle a ton, as Jaden Jordan will skip one to the center circle. Fielding it as Miles, and just by half a second, maybe shorter, they get Jaden Jordan over at first. First time this ball game that Central has gotten successive batters out. First time they've been able to accrue back-to-back outs. There's the 1-3 putout. Kyra Thurman, who's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. She'll stand in now. Outside corner, swing and a miss. Everything's pretty much on the outside right now with Miles. Auburn hitters will have to adjust. The 0-1 count to Thurman, and she comes back more across the heart of the plate there, and Thurman swings over the top of it, misses at 0-2, and Miles right now, she's shocking these Auburn hitters at the moment. See if she can close out the frame. The 0-2, Thurman checks, and they get her for the strikeout. Both the wrist across the plate. Go ahead.
Miles seeing 3 batters for Auburn, retiring 3 batters from Auburn. A much-needed defensive swap for Central. You got to wonder if Auburn's defense is going to be able to hold any momentum they may have garnered in the last half inning.
And the junior pitcher steps in and locks it down, puts a 0 on the scoreboard for the first time tonight against their Tiger foes. Auburn does not put anyone on base. 2 strikeouts in the inning. No one comes across to score. It's 6-0, bottom of the 3rd inning on the other side of this break. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Auburn leading 6-0, and Central just now reaching the bottom of their lineup. McKinnon Howard at the plate for Central. And McKinnon Howard will take ball 1 from Hannah Pitts. Pitts has a 1-hitter going right now to the 3rd. and a shutout on the scoreboard with 2 goose eggs. Joe's bunt pulls back quickly. 2-0, misses the zone on successive pitches. Pitts with 4 strikeouts to only 1 walk across these 2 frames. Joe's bunt, pulls back, gets her for the strike. 2-1 now to Howard. Howard, the left fielder for Central. Batting .416 on the season. They've stashed one of the better hitters at the bottom of their order, try and be able to generate RBI opportunities at the top of the order. And obviously some speed here in the 9 spot. She has shown bunt several times and has pulled back every time. 3-1 to Howard. Howard will stand back in. Bunted foul, got underneath it. That's the thing that they tell you to do when you're bunting. You make sure you don't drop the bat. Drop the bat, then you end up getting those pop-ups. Got to get the ball on the ground. 3-2. Pitts strikes her out looking. 5 strikeouts on the night for Hannah Pitts. All the way back to the top of the order now with Kristen White, who grounded out to third in the first inning. She's 0 for 1.
Number 10, Kristen White.
Kristen White as a hitter. We'll get her stats to you in just a moment. She'll watch one gunned by her. 1-0. White, second best batting average on the team, .649 on the season. Almost 2/3 of her at-bats she gets on base with a hit.
Central showing a lot of bunts, so you just notice the Auburn defense is ready for it. But how are they going to attack it? Because last time they sent one right down the first base path, and there was just nothing they could do about it.
74 hits in 114 at-bats. Pops one up to the back netting. 2-1. Those are the type of numbers that you look at and say, is that a typo? Did you get the 4 and the 6 mixed up? I mean, 649 is outrageous.
Very high.
2-1 pitch. A little too low, a little too outside. 3-1. Some ominous-looking clouds shaved over the ballpark. White lifts one up to center field, tracking back towards the wall and catching it on the warning track is Johnson out in center field. It's a long jog back to the dugout when you give one a ride like that. And Johnson will settle underneath it for the second out of the inning.
Central's offense just with so much versatility with speed and power hitting, but Auburn offense is answering with their own and with Pitts on the circle, throwing the strikes in the outfield, helping her out. They've managed to keep Central to 0 and keeping no one on the base.
Defensive shift here. Infield's playing in at third. Bunted up over to Thurman, who's just waiting it, and the shift works. Bunted up in the air over to Makaira Thurman. And Garrett Griggs is out number 3. After 3 innings, nobody gets on base. Nobody comes across to score in the bottom of the third. It's 6-0. You got 4 more frames left. Tigers ahead by 6. Day 1 of the area tournament, 7A Area 4. Auburn got the 2 seed after tying with Central. They went to a coin flip. Central chose to be the 1 seed. Auburn then gets to host. And a bunt from Pitts. Foul, 0-1. So Auburn the 2 seed, even though they tied with Central during the regular season, split. The 0-1 to Pitts, off the handle to second. Glove tossed over safely. Hertz got the first down on Hannah Pitts.
Just ground out to second base, toss up to the first. Easy play, rudiment. The Central's defense really showed up last inning. They're starting to show up again. You got to wonder if they can hold this out through the end. But the next question is, can their offense show up and fill in this 6-run gap that Auburn's created?
Shelby Owsley, the second baseman, 1 for 2 today. And Miles paints the strike zone. Owsley had an RBI on an error, reached base back in the first and scored. And then in the second, she had a single. It did not come around to score. This one up the middle, shading over. Loving it and throwing on the run is Griggs. Getting Owsley in time for the second out.
Just another simple ground out. Right to the shortstop there, straight to first base. You got to think if Central's starting to show pitches that Auburn wants to swing at, but aren't going to end up too well.
Alicia Conway at the plate. 0 for 2 today, but does have an RBI. Her last time at the plate. Grounded out to second last time up. 0-1 to Conway with 2 outs in the inning. And since Caroline Miles has entered the ball game, Central has been able to stifle the Auburn order. They're going to have to adjust. Conway tries to go opposite field. Behind it, 0-2.
Yeah, and Miles just a much-needed pitching change, and she really steps up there in the circle. So it'll be interesting to see how the Auburn batters adapt these next couple innings.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Conway reaches outside of the zone, puts it on the ground to second, and if I had a nickel for every time there was a ground out to second tonight, I might be getting close to $1. I really would. There's been a lot of ground outs to second, and that's the last out of the top of the 4th inning. Auburn doesn't get anyone on base. There were 2 ground outs to second in this 4th inning frame, and Auburn now leading 6-0. Bottom of the 4th we go. Central coming back to the plate now with 3, 4, 5 in the order, trying to generate some type of offensive production. against Hannah Pitts, who is dealing at the moment. Fourth inning for her. Go ahead.
Sorry, Central's offense not getting started, but you're hoping this momentum they create on defense is really going to get started.
First pitch to Bria Allen. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, swinging back in the first. She'll take it, ball 1. One hitter for Hannah Pitts now with 5 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Gets a swing and a miss from Allen. Count evens at 1-1. One 1 pitch comes back inside, moving the elbow. 2-1.
Pitts just pitching everywhere over the plate. Central's got no idea where these next few pitches are coming, so it's just a guessing game for the batters, and that's honestly the big reason Auburn's been able to hold it to nothing.
Below the knees and outside, 3-1, Pitts behind. Auburn on a 15-game winning streak, at least according to Max Preps, since they last lost on March 6 against Fort Payne. Win after win after win. Big cut from Allen, misses, 3-2. Fighting back into the count is Pitts. Ominous rain clouds hanging over the top of us. You hope the rain stays away. Last 2 nights have been pretty rough, 3-2. And they strike out Allen on a big cut on a rise ball. Sees her back to the dugout.
Despite all these rain clouds, just beautiful weather tonight. It's been 70s, 60s, no rain, low humidity, so just good weather all around.
Just different than what we got during the day, which was humid.
Very.
Allie Supan, the pitcher at the plate, takes a strike, 0-1. Supan today walked back in the second inning. We'll see if Pitts is so nice to walk the starting pitcher for Central 2 times in a row, and so far she's jumped on her, 0-2. The pitchers walked each other. Oh, 2, 1 out. Whoa. Across the plate must have been deemed too high. It was at the belt. 1-2. Fortunate to still be in the batter's box is Supan. And there is the strikeout looking. Supan will walk back to the dugout. That time, not fortunate to get the call. 2 outs with the backwards K going into the scorebook.
Pitts finds that outside pitch that she was looking for earlier. She got it with the retired Subban, 3-1. 1-3. Oh, my apologies.
7th strikeout of the ball game for Pitts. This one, line drive, hits off the top of the wall in right field. It tossed back in and held to only a single as Jordan gets it back in quickly. Lane Thaxton smokes one to the right field wall. She's got a 2-out single.
Central finally got that big hit they were looking for, but Auburn's defense is going to hold her to first. And so with 2 outs, you just wonder if they're going to be able to retire this hitter right here, or if they're going to let Central bleed this in and get some runs in.
Just the second hit allowed by Hannah Pitts in the ball game as Lane Thaxton finds herself over at first base, and Madison Hurt finds herself at the plate. Second baseman who had a single in the second inning did not advance past first base as Central left her stranded. Too high on the first pitch to her. It's 1-0. Auburn up 6-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Noah Gardner and Will Worth with you for tonight's ball game. Nice crowd here tonight as well. Showing bunt is hurt, pulls back 2-0 on a pitch 2 outside.
Just really a stressful situation for Central. 2 outs, runner on first. You need points on the board, down 6. It's bottom of the fourth, but you got to start getting some runs in before you run out of time. And they've garnered a little bit of momentum here, and they're going to see if they can ride it through.
Lunges at a bunt. And a pitch high and outside. Immediately foul, 2-1. Look out to beyond in the outfield. You got folks at their chairs that they've set up. You got folks out on the high hill on the backs of their trucks. It's a good crowd tonight. Good crowd tonight coming out to support their Tigers in the area tournament. Packed out here, the actual park itself. The seats behind home plate. Excellent crowd today. Skyrocket into the dugout.
I was about to say smiles all around from both teams, but
dangerous.
Foul ball straight into Central's dugout. A little scary, but everyone looks okay. Thankfully. Ooh.
As crowded as that dugout is, I don't know how that didn't hit somebody.
I can only imagine it hit somebody. They're just playing it off because
that would hurt.
I can only imagine. They call it softball, but I cannot imagine that that ball is very soft.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hurt. Fouls it away. Hurt on the season, 360 batting average, 27 RBIs. You got a runner at first with 2 outs. Pitts looking to close out the inning. Head to the top of the 5th. She'll toe the rubber in the center circle. And now fires away. Inside, steal over to second. Throw is in front of the bag. It forces Thornell to come across, unable to get the tag. Throws off the mark. And sliding it safely to get into scoring position here is Lane Thaxton.
Just no one was covering second. No one was ready for the steal. And Central took full advantage of that.
Hurt now has someone in scoring position with 2 outs, and Central's trying to find any way to score a run. And they walk Madison Hurt. Deemed a little too far inside, and that's the second walk of the game for Hannah Pitts.
Not a good walk, but now you got the force outs on first, second, and third, and so use that to your advantage defensively and hope you can make a play with it.
Now, number 25, Reagan Gunter.
A lot of places you can go with the ball, as Reagan Gunter will be into the lineup, inserted into the lineup for Central in the 7th spot of the order. Pitts will toe the rubber, pops the mid at home plate and gets the called strike 0-1. Be interesting to see where Gunter, if she ends up in the field. Pitts inside, gets the strike, 0-2. She's got control of this at bat with runners filling up the base paths. Rise ball, strikeout, swinging. That'll end the 5th inning, or the 4th inning rather. 2 runners reached base, one of which was a single, the other a walk. 3 strikeouts are the recorded outs in the inning. That is Pitt's 8th strikeout of the ball game. Nobody comes across to score, and 2 are left stranded. Top of the 5th inning we go, 6-0, Auburn up. ball game. We enter into the final stretch. 3 more to go as we're past the halfway point. Top of the 5th inning. Auburn's at the plate. 7, 8, 9 in the order due up. Kate Thornell at the plate. Auburn's leading 6-0. They're 4 runs away from Mercy Rule territory, if that's even still a part of the rule book in the postseason. And Thornell will take one low. It's a calm ball. Noah Gardner, Will Worth with you for tonight's broadcast on the NFHS network. Below the knees yet again, 2-0.
Central's defense has finally been able to shut out this Auburn offense. So you got to wonder how Auburn's going to rally, how they're going to change up their strategy, try and get some runners on base, try and get some runners home, just further this 6-0 lead.
Miles in the circle for Central has stifled the Auburn offense that jumped out to 6 runs early on Supan, the original starter. Miles has retired her last 6. She's retired all hitters that she's faced. She's faced the minimum at this point, at least for a relief pitcher. This one sliced foul. Count evens at 2-2.
Auburn just swinging for the fences right here, so see if they can make good contact because it looks like that ball's going.
6 batters that Miles has faced, struck out, ground out, strike out, and then 3 ground outs in a row. So not only is she striking out hitters, she's also getting the ball put on the ground. Curveball that she just lost the handle on ends up in pretty much almost out of the other batter's box. Full count. She's in her 3rd inning of work for Central. Facing the bottom of the Auburn order that gets their chance to adjust. Sliced foul yet again. Stays alive at the plate as Thornell had a single back in the 2nd and a double in the 1st. 2 for 2 today, has 2 RBI. It's not come across to score a run, though. It's been left stranded at 2nd and 3rd today. It's a cut and a miss. Strikeout swinging for Thornell. And the outside pitches from Miles has been what is killing Auburn hitters right now. They cannot locate and put the ball in play well at the moment on that outside corner of the plate. And they're also chasing as well.
Thornell fighting in that batter's box. Just couldn't find the right pitch she wanted. She went out swinging.
Ellie Davis in the 8th spot of the order. First baseman. 0 for 1 today. Reached base on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Takes one high above the letters, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Barely catches the plate. 1-1. Excellent pitch. Miles is dialed in at the moment. Retired 7 straight, all 7 batters she's faced. She's hitting her spots. She's in complete control. She had started. You might be looking at a different scoreline right now.
Yeah, Miles definitely painting the outside corner, and these Auburn is just not ready for it, and they are looking for these down the middle fastballs, and they are getting outside off speed. So you just gotta hope they adjust as soon as possible.
Ahead of another count, Miles gets a pop-up foul. Three strikeouts today for Miles, a chance to make it 4. Miles goes with an off-speed pitch, to say the least.
In the dirt.
Wayward. Count evens up at 2-2. Miles is not pitching like a player that has a 5.44 ERA. So go rise ball outside 3-2, and working the count full now is Davis, who's battled at the plate here with 2 strikes. She's hanging.
Got to be careful here. Miles likes to go this outside, and if you never want to go out just staring at that fastball, because it is not a fun feeling. She's going to fight to stay alive.
Puts one across the plate, swings underneath it. Count is still full. 3-2 count with one out. Davis hits one a mile high. That one is in the outfield, but you got to try and find it. And Howard, late to arrive to the party, fashionably late, does get the catch.
And it looked there for a second. Central had no idea where that ball was. I mean, it must have touched the clouds there for a second. Tracked it down, though.
All 8 batters Miles has faced. She has retired. A chance to face the entire order now with Olivia Ney at the plate. See what Ney can do. 1 for 2 today. Grounded out to short last time up. Singled with an RBI back in the first. (1-0) to Ney. Ney, line drive, headed towards the gap and tailing out of it into the outstretched glove of Howard for the third out. 9 straight batters retired for Miles. Nobody gets on base. Nobody comes across to score. Nobody's left stranded. It's 6-0. Auburn in front. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. She's now coming into her 5th inning of work. She's got a 2-hitter going and a shutout. Facing now 8-9-1 in the order, Haley Jernigan, the right fielder, due up for Central. She's 0 for 1 today. Bottom 5 fastball, just a tad bit low. 1-0.
Auburn's defense really showed up this game. They've been staying in it. They've honestly had a control on it this whole time, only letting 2 hits into play. So you got to imagine that they can just hold this out for the remainder.
Goes around and misses. 1-1. Jernigan batting .229 this season. Pitts has racked up a total of 8 strikeouts. Running out of places to put tally marks on my score sheet. And she falls back behind 2-1 now. Changeup drops into the zone. Count goes even at 2-2. Changeup lives up to its name, changing things up. Now she comes back with fastball and rings her up. 9th strikeout of the ball game. Low rise from Hannah Pitts will now get her up to 9 strikeouts.
And Pitt's just so dominant in that circle, and Central's offense just not able to answer to Auburn's 6-0. So Central's defense can only do so much. If their offense can't get fired up, it's Auburn is going to control this lead in the rest of the game.
Next up, 0-0, McKinnon Howard.
Back-to-back strikeouts in the last 2 batters she's faced. She'll now take on McKinnon Howard, who struck out in the 3rd. She's 0 for 1 today. Misses the zone on her first pitch. Follow behind 1-0. Pitts is hard to beat at the moment. Showing bunt. I'm not sure if Howard got back in time. I think they said she did. 2-0. Ball looked to be almost behind the bat at the time that she was pulling back. She'll take 2-0. Shows bunt, pops it up to foul territory beyond third baseline. There's the first strike of the at-bat for Pitts.
Central hitters not afraid to show bunt, stick with it. They've got the speed to match it too, able to get people on base, but Auburn's defense just holding them at the plate most about every time.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Auburn up 6-0. Off-speed pitch, dives under the bat of the bunt, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to McKinnon Howard. And the bunt may very well be out of the playbook here for Howard at the plate.
Just got to be ready if you're the outfield for a pop fly deep.
And the second straight strikeout looking. 2 straight backwards Ks. Pitts has now gotten up to double digits in strikeouts, sending McKinnon Howard back to the dugout as she watches one cross the plate.
And Pitt's just so dominant in that circle, and Central's offense just cannot find an answer to her just painting the corners and just ringing them around.
0 for 2 tonight is Kristen White, back in the top of the order, the center fielder. Puts bunt down, straight back to Pitts. Pitts throws over in time and retires. Kristen White and the side at order, set him up, knock him down, 1, 2, 3. After 5, Auburn up 6-0. We go to the top of the 6th. Two more innings to go for Auburn to close out a 2-0 day in the first day of the area tournament at Auburn High School. Auburn softball up 6-0 on Central. And it's the top of the order facing Caroline Miles. She's retired all 9 of the hitters she's faced. Let's see if the second run through of the order, if Auburn can respond. Johnson, near perfect, but it is a perfect bunt, and she is safe at first. There is the first batter to reach base against Miles, and if you can't do it, swing it away. Just put one straight to the ground right in front of home plate. That'll do it.
There you go. Get runner on bases. Hope you get a little momentum. Jaden Jordan, no stranger to contact this game. Put a good few balls in play, and she has just incredible speed to back it up to get herself on base, and she is just a threat to the Central defense when she is on base.
She grounded out to the pitcher back in the third, and now she will look for the slap hit. Slaps it into her foot. Foul ball. Johnson will have to head back to first. Jordan walked the first 2 times up. Came around to score both of those times as well. She represents a third of Auburn's run production today on the scoreboard. Miles gets a pop-up to short. Getting in front of it in time, retiring Jordan. And Johnson will stay put at station 1.
These hitters have all seen Miles pitch and paint that outside corner, so you just hope that they're ready for it, they're expecting it, so they can put a few more balls in play and get a few more runs on the board and just really just shut Central out tonight.
Jaden Jordan has some words from Makaira Thurman, who's now stepping in. Words of encouragement, words of strategy, something maybe she noticed against Miles. And Thurman will try and line one up. She sizes it up and fouls it away. You imagine if that gets straightened up, it might be a nice token to a fan out in the outfield. Because it was a good-looking pitch just behind it. Can't locate it. Fouled it away. 0-1 now for Thurman, who's standing in with a runner at first. And this one is rolled to the plate. 1-1. Sometimes you just lose the grip. Miles right now, first time tonight she's had a base runner through the 3 innings of relief. Johnson had that single on a bunt to lead off the inning. Thurman's got the count evened up at 1-1. Johnson's looking to steal second, and that one almost ends up in the outfield. Johnson safe at second, but bringing it down from the top shelf over at short. Griggs got up to make the grab. Johnson safe over at second with the steal.
Thurman showing bunt, but you got to think she wants to boot one to the outfield now. You got a runner in scoring position.
Shows bunt, pulls back, ball crosses the plate. She shakes her head. Count evens up at 2-2. Thurman, the third baseman, with a chance to get herself an RBI. Big bat in the order. Can't give her something too good to hit as Miles toes the rubber yet again. Counts even at 2-2. Runner over at second. Thurman pops it up. Foul territory. First base dug outside, and it drops in safe. Hunt, the catcher, moving over to that wall. Now if the wall gets close to you, it's definitely pressing in your mind. And it makes it hard to make that catch. Definitely a catchable ball, but it drops foul.
I think a little miscommunication there by the catcher and the first baseman. Not really sure who had it, but luckily for Auburn it went down. They've got another shot here.
2-2. Thurman can breathe a sigh of relief, but has to refocus here. Thurman at her ankles. 3-2's got it full. They really have not given her too many good pitches to hit tonight. But even with that, she's found a way to squeeze out 2 singles and score 2 runs. Last 2 at-bats, not been easy going. 3-2, she reaches out. That would have been ball 4, and it's fouled off over by first base. And Hurt will race over behind Allen at first and make the catch in foul territory at that coach's box. 2 outs now with Lang Johnson over at second.
Second baseman tracked it down, almost slipped out of her glove. Unfortunate for Thurman. Hopefully she gets another chance in this game, but with the way Miles has been pitching, who knows?
And it's not been a bad day for Thurman. She's 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. This last 2 times she has not had an answer for Miles. Hannah Pitts at the plate, fouls one off in the outside corner of the plate. She is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, walked back in the first and scored a run in the first, rounded out to second her last time up.
And it's not just Thurman. These Auburn Tigers have really been struggling to find an answer to Miles' pitching. But
Pitts pops it away again. 0-2.
They're hoping to make something happen with it here, so runner on second. Hopefully they can get an RBI home before the end of this inning.
Miles has been virtually unscathed tonight. Still has yet to give up a run in relief. Auburn still leading 6-0, nonetheless in the top of the 6 in a great location. High and way outside. Pitt stays alive, 1-2. If Auburn wins this game, they advance to the championship. And it's double elimination, so whoever would come back to meet them would have to beat Auburn twice. The 1-2 to Pitts. Straight away center field. Coming up to make the catch is White. 3 outs there. Took 4 batters to get there on the fly out to center field. After Lang Johnson reached base on a bunt to open up the inning, She is left stranded over at second, and then 3 straight pop-ups in a row for Miles. We'll see the inning retired. Auburn leading 6-0, bottom of the 6th inning on the other side of this break. Bottom of the 6th inning, Auburn up 6-0. Central down to their final 6 outs. Hannah Pitts here for her 6th inning tonight in the circle. A 2-hitter going right now and a shutout, barreling her way to a complete game if she can keep it up. She faces 2-3-4 in the order. Garrett Griggs, the shortstop, takes a hack at one well above her head, 0-1. It's the rise ball that is one of the most dangerous pitches if you can master it in the game of softball. So hard to evaluate. There's 2 straight strikes off of 1, 0-2.
Central really just trying to get anyone on base right now, see if they can get any type of response to Auburn's 6-run lead. It's the bottom of the 6th here. They need some type of answer or else they're just going to leave themselves stranded, even with their defense. And Miles on the mound just excelling. There's not much they can do if they can't generate anything on offense here.
Good chase pitch. Lays off of it. Great plate discipline by the 2-hitter in the order, Garrett Griggs. Just off the plate, 1-2. As Pitts will get the call. Pitts fires away and gets the strikeout swinging. How many times have we said that tonight? Garrett Griggs will strike out, her 2nd of the night. 11 strikeouts for Hannah Pitts.
Next up for Central, number 33, Bria Allen.
Pitts really just unmatched in the circle here tonight, and Central just cannot find an answer to her.
Auburn has started off the area tournament in a big way. Can they finish it off with 5 more outs to go? Bria Allen at the plate. There's a nice low rise. 0-1. Goes back to that pitch again and gets a foul ball out beyond the right field. Foul fence territory. 0-2. And Pitts yet again in a familiar spot, looking for the strikeout.
Right fielder tracking it down. You can only imagine that if that had stayed in the park, that would have been an easy out.
Allen as well in a familiar spot here. She has struck out both times she's been at the plate. Both times swinging. We'll see if she is a victim to Pitts again. Yes, she is. The 3rd time Pitts has gotten Allen swinging. And back-to-back strikeouts in the order for Central.
Pitts showing no fatigue. You would not have thought that she is 6 innings in. She looks like she's just opening up the night, and she is just running through these Central hitters.
5 of the last 6 hitters have struck out. 3 of them swinging. Allie Supan, 4th spot of the order. Watches the first pitch to her go low for a ball. She'll take a big cut at a rise ball high and inside, 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. Supan stands in. Hits one off the end of the bat. Thurman charges it, throws across for the final out. Pitts, looking at her score sheet, has retired the last 7 batters she has faced after Thurman gets the last out of the 6th inning. Auburn in front, 6-0. Final inning here. Auburn 3 outs away from winning the ball game, but first they'll see the plate. Top of the 7th on the other side of this break. Top of the 7th inning, Auburn will be back up to the plate for possibly their final time tonight. 6-0 they lead as Caroline Miles enters her 5th inning of relief. Fouled underneath on a tip by Owsley. Owsley, Conway, Thornell due up in the order. 5, 6, 7 in the lineup. Owsley behind 0-1. The second baseman watches one go by for a ball out of the mitt of Hunt behind home plate.
Auburn's offense not able to produce since Miles came up to the circle here in the 3rd inning, so you just wonder if they can get a little bit momentum to further their lead from Central here.
Owsley sees one go by at the letters. Back in front, 2-1. Miles has a 1-hitter. He's not giving up a run in relief. She represents all 4 goose eggs on the scoreboard on Auburn's line up there. But Auburn still with a 6-0 lead after 4 in the first and 2 in the second. Foul tip from Owsley yet again. Count goes even at 2-2 as Miles battles. The junior, who has only seen 6 appearances this year for Central, with a 5.44 ERA, I would not be shocked if this is the best appearance she's had all year long. We don't have those in-depth statistics in front of us as the pop-up behind home plate in foul territory. It's so hard to find it. Hunt has it pop out of her glove.
Would not be surprised if we see more from Miles in these next coming area games and playoffs. The vital part of this Central defense that's held Auburn to no runs since the 2nd inning.
2-2 count to Owsley. Owsley fouled yet again. The slightest of tips to the back netting.
Owsley fighting. She's looking for the pitch she wants. She's hoping to find it here. Knock into the outfield. Get some base runners in for Auburn.
Still no outs, 2-2, popped up over the top of us and over the press box.
She wants it.
Still sitting at 2-2, Owsley fighting. Look at her stat line today. Reached base twice. Has an RBI and a run scored today. Owsley pulls one, rips it into the bullpen in the batting cage area.
Luckily this time it went over the dugouts there, but fighting to stay alive here, 2-2.
Owsley right now fortified at the plate. 2-2 to Owsley. Pulls this one, popped up towards the Auburn dugout and off the rooftop. Entrenched in a battle, Caroline Miles.
Owsley not ready to give up. She is swinging for the fences, looking to put one over. Nice little souvenir for the fans out there. She is fighting.
You're looking at insurance here. Insurance runs. 6-0, Owsley yet again with another tip. Have to be heading towards double digits in pitches at this at-bat.
No doubt the most pitches to one player tonight. But Miles still looking comfortable in the circle, not wavering, still giving the heat.
Popped up yet again. Tip top of the net behind home plate, and it comes back into play. Still at 2-2. Whoever wins this count, it was harder. Whether or not it's Owsley, we'll have to find out. And maybe we'll know in another 1,000 pitches. Here we go. Owsley pulls one over third base side. Foul territory yet again.
Auburn dugout cheering her on, wanting to see a hit, but Central's defense unrelenting with Miles there in the circle. Just
Owsley will get a base hit out of the at-bat, and she wins the encounter into left center field. She's headed for second, throws on the way, not in time, sliding in safely. I'll tell you, that might be the best at-bat we've seen tonight.
Central ready to hold her to a single, but the left fielder there bobbled it in her hand there for a second, and that was enough of a window that Owsley saw, and she went right for the double play, and the throw not in time, and Auburn's going to have a runner in scoring position with no outs. Prime opportunity to put a few more points on this board just to really further their lead on the Central Red Devils.
That breaks your back as a pitcher when you lose that long of a count. Conway shows bunt, can't keep it fair. Second inning in a row that Auburn's had a lead-off hitter get on the base paths. Those are the only two hits Miles has allowed, but last inning when it occurred, Miles came back with 3 straight pop-ups, which is one way to keep everybody put on the base paths. Johnson was over at second as well in that inning, and there's Conway fouling it off to the back net. Not able to make a play on it. As I was saying, though, pop-up's one way to keep everybody put, and in that previous inning, Johnson was over at second base, and they were unable to pull around. You're looking for insurance runs here, even if you're up 6-0. Every little bit will help you keep this thing at bay. Central not shown much at the plate, but it's never too late to batter's box as she misses. There's the strikeout.
Now batting for your Auburn Tigers, number 6.
We won't say strikeout swinging. We'll say strikes out bunting.
That's a good call. Auburn really wanting to advance Owsley there on second base at third base, just get her further in that scoring position. But Miles not relenting there from the circle and giving the heat right back at him.
Thornell, the shortstop at the plate. Below the knees. 1-0. It's been a scoring freeze for Auburn after a plentiful first 2 innings. You've seen 4 innings go by without a run scored, and we're in the top of the 7th, 6-0, Auburn in front. Runner over at second is Owsley.
Even with all those zeros on the board, it's still just been an exciting game between this defense and this offense, just battling back and forth. And Auburn, even with their 6 runs, nothing has been certain for this offense or this defense. If Central could just get something going here.
Up in the count, 2-0 is Thornell. Thornell watches one below the knees yet again. Ahead 3-0, and we have not seen a 3-0 count in a long time. I feel like it's been since Supan was in the circle.
Not for Miles, no.
Ellie Davis on deck. Going to swing on the 3-0 count, and it's a single up to center field. Throw comes back in quickly, and you've got runners on the corners. Up 6-0 with a 3-0 count. Why not? Swing away.
It's going to pay off there for Auburn. Nice little single out to left field. Not going to bring a runner home, but that is okay. You're going to advance him to third. Prime scoring opportunity here for the Auburn Tigers.
Runners at the corners. Ellie Davis comes up to the plate with runners at the corners and one out. Auburn up 6-0 in the top of the 7th. Owsley over at third. Rise ball at the collarbone. Davis watches it in. Over at first is Thornell after that single. Third hit allowed by Miles. Still has yet to give up a run in relief. She got an out here in the inning. Got 4 strikeouts, no walks. She's throwing strikes. That's all you can say. That's all you can say right now. But finally, these Auburn hitters are able to size her up a bit and hit the ball hard. And Davis will do just that one. She ropes it out into left field. The out is made, and now tagging up from third is Owsley to score. So the sac fly for Ellie Davis will score a run.
She saw her pitch. She swung. It had the distance. Unfortunately, it was snagged right there, just barely by that left fielder. Great play, but managed to bring Owsley home for third base. And Auburn's going to go up 7-0. A nice insurance run for the Tigers. See what more their offense can do with the runner on first and 2 outs.
Thornell still over at first. 1-0 is the count now to Olivia Ney at the plate, the left fielder. First run allowed in relief by Miles here at the top of the 7th. She's had a good night, though. She's had a very good night in relief. It's not much more that you can ask for. The offense just did not show up.
No doubt.
He watches a strike in. Go ahead.
And if you think Miles had started this game, just how much different of a score it'd be, and honestly, it might just now be a 1-run game with Auburn up in the lead. No doubt been an interesting night, though, with from both teams.
Ney too far inside, 2-1. Ney lifts one, center field, out to the warning track, and White catches it with her back to the wall for the final out of the 7th inning. Ney got a hold of it, but could not get it out of the park. She will fly out to White to end the inning, but not before Auburn's able to get an insurance run. Leading off the inning, Owsley had a double. She came across to score. Then after that, there was a single and a sac fly. So you look at it, 2 hits in the inning, 1 runner left stranded, 1 run comes across to score, and Auburn's leading 7-0. Bottom of the 7th we go here, 3 more outs for Auburn to head to the championship game of the area tournament. Kept back in play as the top of the 7th inning ended for Olivia Ney with quite a strong hit. But Auburn does score a run in the top of the 7th inning, and they go to the bottom of the 7th with Hannah Pitts looking to go with a complete game shutout here, a 2-hitter on the board for her. She's facing 5, 6, 7 to the order. Lane Thaxton, the designated player, will stand in. 3 outs away from sending Auburn to the championship game of the area tournament. Double elimination, so even if they were to lose in the championship game tomorrow, they would have to lose twice. Check swing. Looks over at first after the call at the plate was that she held up. Looked like she brought the bat halfway around the plate. They got her for a ball there.
Definitely a close one, but Central, a much-needed break for this Central offense, trying to make something happen.
That time she brings it around and misses, 1-1.
And this Auburn offense just explosive in the first 2 innings, scoring 6 runs, creating just a great lead. Now it's up to this Auburn defense and Pitts, who have just been dominant this entire game, to just finish this game out.
Pitts has retired the last 7. She gets a foul ball down third baseline. It's 1-2. She's got a total of 12 strikeouts. In her 6 innings pitched, she's averaging 2 strikeouts an inning. It's a big reason why there's a 0 on the scoreboard. Can't score if you can't get on base. Can't score if you can't put the ball in play. Rise ball. She doesn't go chasing. 2-2.
And Auburn's pitching just being dominant all night, especially in the game before this with Smith Station only allowing 1 run in. It's going to be interesting to see how they can uphold these next couple games, if they can keep staying dominant like this or let it get behind them.
Low and outside, it gets away from Conway. Count goes full. Trying to avoid a leadoff walk. Pitts runs it inside, and it's a walk. Thaxton will reach base in her last 2 at-bats, or plate appearances, that is. She's over at first now.
Number 2.
Only Pitt's 3rd walk to 12 strikeouts. Nice strikeout-to-walk ratio. 4-1. As Madison Hurt will come to the plate, with Auburn leading 7-0 in the bottom of the 7th, still needing 3 outs. Hurt today singled in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. 1 for 1 today, reaching base both times. The second baseman for Central. Inside portion of the plate. Pitts starts her off inside, might be trying to work towards the outside portion of the plate now throughout the rest of the at-bat.
Pitts is just painting these corners, and she's getting the calls she wants, there's no doubt, and it's just been real hard for this Central's offense to recover from that.
Stays inside, and it's pulled towards the dugout now. Wouldn't be shocked if you see her go outside.
It's worked, so. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Double play depth in the infield. Outside portion, and they got her looking. 13 strikeouts for Pitts.
With 1 out, a double play would really just seal the deal for the Tigers and just end it out on just such a high note. Holding them a shutout would just be great.
First pitch in the next at-bat, grooved across the strike zone. Cadence Barrick is what it says on the roster sheet for who's hitting here. 2 strikes in a row to her. Want to get clarification if this is Cadence Barrick. Barrick behind 0-2 with 1 out. Dribbles 1 away, foul, 0-2.
All too familiar territory with the 0-2 pitch from Pitts, and she has just been unrelenting towards these batters, not giving them any type of leeway whatsoever. Just painting these outside corners, and the batters are and they're swinging in there and not making contact.
Foul tip, stays alive. 1 out in the inning with 2 strikes to Barrick. Hard to get a double play, high school softball, but it would end the ball game. Foul tip yet again. Jernigan on deck for Central. 7, 8, 9 in the order is a combined 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts against Pitts tonight. Staying alive is Barrick. She's fighting at the plate. We are in the 7th spot of the order right now. Looking for the final 2 outs of the ball game with Auburn up 7-0. Barrick, yet again, another foul ball. Trying to extinguish Barrick at the plate.
Pitt's hoping to win this just battle between pitcher and hitter with staying alive inside the batter's box, hoping she can just outlast there on the circle more than her counterpart for Central.
Swings underneath it, stays alive. Saw a previous at-bat in the top of the inning that was like this, and Owsley won it. Got a base hit for the Tigers. Instead, it breaks a pitcher's back when you lose counts like these. Head 0-2. This is where it really hurts if Barrick was to get on base. Got her on the ropes with a runner at first.
Central yet to make meaningful contact with the ball here in this inning, so you just hope if you're Pitts that you can just retire this one now before they get too many looks at it.
Rise ball that climbs above the helmet. 1-2. Now Barrick with at least a little bit of stock in this count. See if it climbs. Pops it up, stays alive. Out into the stands. Entrenched in the batter's box.
Age-old battle of pitcher and hitter. You never want to lose.
Barrick pops it up, a blooper, left field. Thurman tries to grab it with her bare hand, and it's a base hit.
Some miscommunication there by the infield there with Thurman going to grab it. It looks like she was someone else might have gotten it, and she just ended up with it. An error for the Auburn infield is going to result in a single with runners on second and first with only one out.
Thurman, might have been some miscommunication between her and Thornell, and Thurman kind of tailed away from it at the end and tried to catch it with her bare hand. Almost made the catch. One out now. Runners at first and second, and Pitts trying to put this game away with the complete game shutout. I'm ruling that one as a difficult play to make. Inside portion of the plate, and now they've got Pitts angry.
You got a lot of places to throw to as to your infield. You got runners on first and second, so force out everywhere on the diamond except for home plate. So try and get at least one out here.
Haley Jernigan, the batter at the plate, and she's behind 0-2. Now we'll see if Pitts can go and put her out. Trying to close out this ball game and get this elusive second out of the inning. Pitts. Rise ball at the letters, laying off of it.
And it looks like Pitts wants to just get this all done by herself and not leave it up to her infielders. Bring in the heat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 14 strikeouts. Keep the counter going. Haley Jernigan sent away.
Central knows they need runs on the board, so they're swinging.
Final out of the ball game, reduced to their final out. Central, McKinnon Howard in the bottom of the order has struck out twice tonight looking. Runners at first and second. It's 7-0 Auburn. Just a tad bit low, 1-0.
Since the excitement in the stadium here, Auburn fans are looking to hope shut this one out. Central fans are looking to stay in it.
It would be quite the 2-out rally. Central were to come back from this. Low and outside yet again, 2-0.
First win of the area championship of this double elimination series on the line. Makes it easier if you win tonight, not having to play late tomorrow.
McKinnon Howard hitting .416 on the year, 15 RBI, that 9th spot of the order. Bunts it, pops it up to Thurman, falling away, catches it, and there's your ball game. Central will leave 2 stranded in the bottom of the 7th. No one will come across to score after a walk and a hit, and Auburn will close out the ball game. The complete game shutout for Hannah Pitts. 7 innings of work. You look at her stat line, only 3 hits allowed, no runs yet again with the complete game shutout. 3 walks and 14 strikeouts for Hannah Pitts, and the 7-0 victory for Auburn. Tigers close it out, sweep across day 1 of the 7A Area 4 tournament. They head to the championship game tomorrow to play the winner of Central and Smith Station. Still double elimination, so Auburn will have to be beaten twice tomorrow. Tigers in a great position to take the area crown. Auburn wins 7-0. As for my broadcast partner, Will Worth, and myself, Noah Gardner, I hope everybody has a great evening. Good night. Tigers win, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome into AHS Finals. The Tigers get not 1 but 2 wins today. The second one 7-0, a shutout against Central. So how were you able to get off to such a fast start, getting up 6-0 in just the first 2 innings?
Okay, go. Okay. So at practice recently, we've been focusing on getting started early. That's been our main goal offensively, is putting the ball on the ground, because ground balls make runs. So we've been focusing on that, and so I'm just glad we were able to actually do it tonight. It proved well. I'll give it to you.
We're going to go back to the first game. So, Ellie, you had that home run in the first game. How did that feel, hitting a home run? That helped y'all get a win that one?
It felt really good. I'm glad I could do it for my team, and I'm glad it pushed us to the win.
Hannah, you didn't give up any runs in this pitch. You pitched an entire game. How are you able to do it against this really good Central team?
Honestly, we always just work at practice about getting the routine outs, and that's what we did tonight. I couldn't have done without the defense.
Alrighty, well that's going to do it here. Tigers will be back tomorrow for a whole nother game. Do you want to say anything?
Alright, tell for the camera.
She wants to say something.
No, I don't. Hey, say my one love.
One love.
One love, one love. Tigers!
Alrighty, we'll be back tomorrow for a big game between the Tigers and either Smith Station or Central. So that's going to do it here for AHS Mass Media. I'm Patrick Bingham, Brayden Gentry, and the entire Auburn softball team. Go Tigers! Auburn wins 7-0.
You